Stevens, alongside the great Paul Tarek. Let me just say this right off the bat here, Paul. We're going to talk everything health and fitness. I just got out of the clinic with Andy and Mimi McKellar. Andy says, you know what? I never had as good a workouts as I did when Paul Tarek was pushing me.
I think he was lying to you.
But
he was awesome, man. He was a trooper.
Yeah.
He would be sweating like 5 minutes into it, and he would just keep going. I was thinking, I want to take a break for you.
I didn't prompt him. I didn't give him anything. And in fact, I tried to let him go back on it.
You
and say,
offered him that
sure you're talking about Paul Tarek? Paul, I'm telling you, you got to get out of that PG&E plant, and you got to start motivating people and get them back out doing health and fitness. Guys like Andy miss you.
It was a good time while it lasted.
A good time while it lasted. Hey,
I'm sorry, I'm just sidetracked. I've got this incredible muffin in front of me, and this is a healthy muffin. I don't even feel bad. I feel like I was kind of set up over here. Give me a muffin like right before we start, and then go, oh yeah, let's start the show here. Hey, don't eat the muffin.
Well, we're going to be careful how we introduce this, but he is talking about our guest brought in some muffins, and we're going to talk about those muffins here in just a little bit, but former guest, one of the first guests we had on Living the Run, Tara Kulikov with Pinnacle Training Systems. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me back.
And thanks for bringing in the goods.
Yes, like I
got muffins. We're not sure what we're eating. Paul is devouring, but he's making kind of some different faces as he's kind of analyzed. It's almost like this is wine tasting.
I'm a muffin connoisseur. I think it's known around the globe that I am a muffin connoisseur.
Tell us what you brought and what we're eating.
So there's absolutely no recipe. This is just my own concoction as I do with things. This is literally overripe bananas. And then have you ever seen those little they're called smashers, where they squeeze them into their mouth?
Got them. Yes.
Yes. So an organic masher that's half blueberry, half banana. It's an easy way to get.
Is that like an applesauce in those
Kinda.
mashers?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have them with vegetables in them.
Okay.
Some chia seeds soaked in almond milk, and some brown rice syrup, and some gluten-free grains. That's it. How is it?
It's good stuff. The texture's a bit different for me, but I mean, it's definitely edible. Good in the morning, I can tell. This thing would pump you up with a little energy.
Let me speak from somebody who eats a muffin like a real person, not the supermodel Rex over there taking mouse bites off of his. That was an incredible muffin. That was, to be honest, I thought I was going to have to be polite and say, yeah, that was a really good muffin and try to spit it out when you weren't looking. But that was really good. I don't even like chocolate, and I like the chocolate on top of it too.
Hey, it's
and when I asked about it, thinking, oh, here comes some healthy, fake chocolate. Here's some brown stuff that might melt in your mouth. Who knows? And she said, what was that?
That's real chocolate in moderation. 2 little chunks of what's called allergy-free chocolate, so it doesn't have any crazy additives in it. Straight up real chocolate.
So you can eat more. You can just eat more of it, right? That's what that means. Healthy chocolate
Paul,
means more.
Here's one more for you.
Don't give Max his cupcake away. His muffin.
Cupcake / muffin, synonymous terms.
No, whoa, hey, listen.
Let's get after this right off the bat, Paul. What'd you call Tara when she came in here? Your memory of her was the...
Oh, the heckler.
The heckler.
Oh.
Yeah, the heckler. She was back on. It's always good for people to get after Paul. That's the kind of the part of this radio show that makes it more fun. Get him rolling. Hey, I think that goes right to a topic. Anybody see this topic in the paper? It was on the radio as well as I'm trying to swallow through this muffin. It's just so darn good. You better get water. Anyway, did you see this article on organic versus non-organic fruits and vegetables? And how they try to make the distinction that there's absolutely no difference? It was very amazing. It's like they put this focus on here, and essentially they didn't make any discrepancies into where the vegetables came from, when they were picked, how long they traveled. They kind of mentioned, oh, well, yeah, maybe the non-organic ones have a few more pesticides. But they said, oh, doctor from Stanford says virtually the same. Nutrients are the same. No worries on this kind of stuff. It's bizarre. I mean, it's getting out of control. You got stuff coming from South America, traveling 1,500 miles, picked 3 weeks early, sitting in a plastic bag for 2 months. Same.
I'm going to save a quarter.
Organically grown in Guadalajara, third world country. You have to question that.
Tough stuff, you know. I mean, you pull stuff out of your garden, you give it to somebody, they go, Jesus, I've never tasted lettuce like that.
Yeah.
Like, where did you get a tomato like that? Picked appropriately.
And that was good. What is this called?
Yeah.
Tomato.
Exactly.
Eaten within 3 days,
Yes.
you know, of picking. Oh, gosh, it's absolutely stunning type stuff.
You know what? I think what you just said about chocolate kind of applies to the whole organic food thing as well. And I know there are some people that are diehard organic everything. It's not bad for you to eat organic everything, obviously, but you know, you don't have to go. It doesn't have to be all processed food or all organic food. You know, it's good to just start substituting some and saying, well, if I can make a choice and get a locally grown apple with no pesticides on it, maybe pay another 10 cents an apple. I think that's better than something that's imported from, further away, grown with pesticides. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Hey, Tara, talk about that a little bit, because you've got people you're training for races upcoming, triathlons, running events. Anybody fits the bill. I know you train elite people as well as you train that novice, that first person coming in. And obviously you guys are dealing with nutritional stuff along the way. What's kind of some of the strategies? Because Paul hit it right on the head. Going all in on some of this stuff is just too overwhelming for folks. Where are some of the strategies that you guys employ to get people to start to, eat muffins like this, or start to grab onto some organic vegetables, fruits, animal product, etc.?
Definitely. Nutrition is part of my huge day-to-day job. I have a huge passion about it. Do sports nutrition as well as wellness nutrition. And basically, I have to educate people that first start with the basics, fruit and vegetables. I don't care if you start buying them at Walmart or the 99-cent store. Just start buying them, okay? So that's the first step. Buy them, put them in your house, and eat them.
Like vegetable chips,
yes.
right? Those count, right? To transition from potato chips, you first get vegetable chips, and then you eat those.
Yep.
No, that's not. It's not gonna work.
Quite.
Oh, man, I thought
But
I had something.
baby steps. So if you're eating 3 meals a day at McDonald's, perhaps you want to change one of those meals into one of their salad shakers, as opposed to
And then hit Burger King for your third.
Exactly.
Well, you're kind of making a good point. I mean, some of that stuff is a bit extreme. I mean, it's just that flat out amazing that McDonald's and Burger King and all these guys, they do the most amazing job of marketing to us.
They care about
They
it.
make me want to eat that food.
Yeah, Well, I don't know if they go that far, but hey, we're looking at Tara's physique. Everybody knows she's not eating that stuff. But here's the reality. You got to add something. I like what you're talking about. You get people to start to add stuff rather than taking away, and there's a big mental component to that.
Totally mental. I never say you cannot have this or that.
Just fill up on vegetables before you try to eat
Always
this or
look at the
that.
positives. So whenever I make a to-do list for my nutrition clients, it's always positive. We're going to do this. We're going to have this. It's not what we're not going to have. No restrictions. Negatives are bad.
Yeah, I think so. And the one thing I see all the time in the clinic is there's people that once they start to add one thing, they just automatically will start to add something else, and it starts to domino into something like super positive.
Chips, why not have some vegetable dip, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Homemade vegetable dip.
Yes.
And I like that what you just said, about the muffins too, is you come back to that. It's take what you got in the house. Don't throw away. I mean, what they say the other day, there was a report out on that 40% of the food consumed in America is wasted. So 40% bought or gotten at restaurants, etc., is actually gone into the dumpster. And 40% seems unfathomable that could be, but it's because they're not doing what you said, is look in the fridge, look in the cupboard and say, hey, I got these things left. I'm going to use them. The banana's a little overripe. No big deal. It's going to go good in a muffin.
Yep. I make what's called refrigerator stew. So you look in the refrigerator, and hopefully everything came from the farmer's market, but you make a stew, and it's delicious.
Or the flip side of the coin is you make a stew, and then you go, guys, we're getting pizza tonight.
What? Absolutely.
Organic pizza.
Exactly. Organic pizza full of fruits or vegetables with fruit on the side, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, people put that pineapple on the pizza. I never really got that. It wasn't my favorite, but Max is nodding his head like pineapple was one of his favorites as a kid. That ham and pineapple pizza never did it for me.
Didn't do it for me. Sorry.
The all vegetable much better.
But I would prefer people have pineapple over pepperoni any day. Hands down.
You just lost half of the people.
I know.
Like, wait, no
Sorry.
pepperoni.
Yeah, the listeners just shut down. They just switched stations.
Like I said, moderation. Few pepperoni slices and a few pineapples. Baby steps.
I like that. You're listening to ESPN 1280, Living the Run here. Tara Kulikov in studio. Talk to us about what's the next upcoming race. What are you training people for right now?
We got tons of stuff going on right now. So September's a big month. We are in the middle of our City to Sea half marathon training program. Athletes doing phenomenal with that. We have a race coming up here in a few weeks. The Scott Tinley triathlons out at Lake Lopez. We'll be out there supporting athletes. Then we have end of September, Heritage Oaks Banks, great local family race in Paso. And then October, we hit hard with the Morro Bay Triathlon and the City to Sea. It's going to be a good time.
Isn't there a Tough Mudder coming up too?
There is. It's at the end of October.
End of October?
Yep,
Is it
two-day event. I believe it's the 28th and 29th of October.
Let's talk about. Go ahead, Paul.
Is that in St. Louis?
Yep, at Laguna Lake.
Laguna Lake, yeah.
Put on by All Out Events. That's a great event.
Talk about when you say, we're midway kind of in that training for a half marathon. What's happening with the novice, first timers at this stage? What's happening with the elite athlete at this stage?
So at this stage, like I said, we are going on, I believe we're on week 8 or 9 of our 14-week program that we do for the CDC. It's amazing to see that the novice athlete who couldn't run 2 miles the first day is going to be running this Saturday 10 miles. Okay? And then we have our elite people who are running about 12 miles. So they'll be, respectively doing just as hard at their own pace, slightly modified distances.
Talk about some of that training too. We talk about some of this eating stuff and the additions of adding anything to your exercise routine. How many of these people are we encouraging to go as far as grabbing heart rate monitors and logging all their times and getting like super objective, using the iPhones to kind of critique their strategies versus just getting out there and kind of having a little bit of fun with it, enjoying the time? What do we see on the spectrum there?
We have a varied spectrum, and that's actually how we have our coaching program set up, where we have rates where athletes can use their GPS, they can use their crazy scientific terms to really dial in their pace, or we have perceived exertion. I feel okay. I feel really bad. I feel like I'm going to vomit. And so literally we have half and half, I would say.
So what do we do for that group that wants to vomit? Do we
you take
carry
a
around
salt
trash
tablet,
cans?
you walk it off.
do we run by them with a bag?
Well, we don't train our athletes that way, and unfortunately, I do see athletes at race day who haven't trained who present themselves to be that way, and then I say, "Here, you got to come train with us. You got it all wrong." So
do you do any? So it's a lot of road races, or road running. Is that
trail stuff as well? Yeah.
Oh, you guys do some trail. Do you guys actually go to the track and put any footwork in on the track?
We have a track workout every Thursday tomorrow, 6 a.m. Would you like to join us? Our level 3 has 3 1-mile repeats.
Totally love to, but I can't.
Mile repeats, 6 a.m. Cal Poly. City to Sea people.
Mile repeats. So what's going on in the in between? How much rest in between each mile, and what are they trying to do? Percent exertion of max.
We have 3 levels. So once again, level 1 more beginners, level 2 intermediate, and level 3 advanced. So level 3, the advanced, they'll be doing 3 times 1 mile repeats with 1.5 minute rest, going by their own personal perceived exertion. So we have people running, 5:15 pace, as fast as that. All the way up to like 7.5 minute pace.
Yeah, but I mean, what is that? I mean, say they're running 5:15. Are these
That's
people?
Almost like you're gonna vomit.
No, it sounds like I would vomit.
That's best,
yeah. Actually, yeah, it sounds like I would vomit. Is that? But for them, are these like 4:45 type runners, or is 5:15 near their max?
No, 5. It's what's called an interval day. So it's their fastest day that they will do the whole entire week. Yeah.
Wow.
But if they had to open up and run an all-out mile as fast as they could, the guy running, let's say somebody running the 5:15 group, if he had to open it up, he or she had to open it up and run as fast as they could. How fast could they run, you think? And, you know what I mean? What's their all-out mile time?
Yeah, that's hard to say because they're currently training for a longer distance. So our definition of an interval is 45 seconds faster than your half marathon race pace. So if you run in a 5K, your pace is going to be faster than it would be for a half marathon. So if you're doing an interval for a 5K, you might be, at 4:45. You, Paul, personally.
I don't know about that. Not anymore. In my mind.
Paul Tarek, what was your fastest 1,500 meter?
1,500, 424 converts to
Nice.
I think 441 miles.
I like that.
It's pretty amazing, Tara, when you watch these big guys, these decathletes that never train for any of this stuff. I mean, what were you doing? What was the most training?
We trained, Randolph and I were probably 2 of the guys that trained the most out of all the other decathletes for the 1500. Where we would actually have one day a week early in the season, and then one day every like 10 days as the season progressed.
Where you were running what, 600s or 800s?
We ran 4s and 8s. We do one of the workouts we did that was 4. We did 224, 228, 224, 22.
Nasty workouts.
Where you're running your 2s at race pace. I'm sorry, your 200s are at 32nd, and then everything else is at race pace with like a jog in between of like whatever you rest or whatever you ran. You rest like if you ran like a 200, you get like a minute rest. If you run or you get a 2-minute rest, and you get a 4-minute rest, and you get an 8-minute rest.
Good stuff, Paul. That sounds vomitous too.
Yes,
Yeah,
Paul.
I just started talking. I was like, what was I doing? Why would I do that?
How'd that last 100 yards of your 4:40 whatever PR feel?
Oh, it was terrible. Of mine? No, it was great.
Yeah.
That was because I made that was when I made the Olympic team, so it felt pretty.
So he
it was
just
pretty. I was
forgot
pretty
about
numb
all
to
the
it. Yeah.
pain and agony.
Yeah, that was good. But there were times that
Glory
I've run
set in.
450 and it felt terrible.
Goal centered. Hey, when we
Yes.
return here on Living the Run, we're going to talk goal centered type mentality. We're going to talk Paul Tarek a little bit on retirement because we just did hear Andy Roddick is done. We'll kind of have Paul's reflections as he left the top sport. If we want to see what Tara is competing in next, you got to be. You look like you're training for something, so it's got to be something good. It's a secret. Back more with on Living the Run here on ESPN 1280 The Ticket.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
When I was your age and we went camping, Grandpa always told ghost stories.
Were they scary?
They sure were.
Ooh, tell me one.
Create memories that your son or daughter will never forget. Take them camping, hiking, or fishing. But before you go, get everything you need at Four Seasons Outfitters.
Okay, let's see if I can remember one. Oh yeah, a father and son were camping.
You mean like us?
Uh-huh. And not far from where they were was a spooky old shack.
Is that where the ghost is, Dad?
You'll find backpacks and tents, freshwater and deep-sea fishing equipment, campfire cooking supplies, guns and ammo, everything you need for your next adventure in the great outdoors.
Anyway, everything is quiet when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they hear a voice.
Hey, guys.
Ah!
What's wrong? I was just bringing marshmallows from the kitchen.
Even if the adventure is in your own backyard. Four Seasons Outfitters, your outdoor adventure headquarters for more than 25 years. 432 High Cara, San Luis Obispo.
Hey, honey, can you leave the back porch light on?
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
The ultimate choice for sports massage in SLO County? Peak Performance. Conveniently located at SLO Wellness Center just blocks from Cal Poly is ready to assist you to reach your personal best. Calling all athletes and fitness enthusiasts. If you're ready to start alleviating symptoms by addressing the true problems, if you are seeking efficient and effective body work, then you can count on Peak Performance. Nagging injury, losing the bounce in your step, pain or tightness keeping you from training hard and reaching your goals? Raise your standards, raise your expectations. Call Peak Performance 543-8688.
Folks, when it comes to the health of my teeth, I will not compromise, and neither should you. It's time you go where my wife and I go. Go see Dr. Ryan Ross. I get it. Not everyone loves a dentist, and heck, even a few of you out there are scared to death of these offices. Bad past experiences? Well, you ever had a bad haircut? How about a bad meal somewhere? You didn't stop getting your haircut, and you certainly didn't stop eating, so stop ignoring your teeth. Dr. Ross's gentle approach, calming demeanor, and office full of upbeat staff put your dental fears to rest. Conveniently located in a great little house on Marsh Street downtown, Dr. Ross's office exudes the highest level of professionalism, mixed with an atmosphere much like your own home. Look, nobody's in a rush here. It's not a get 'em in, get 'em out atmosphere. Every time I'm in Dr. Ross's office, it's like I'm the only guy that matters. No distractions, just full focus on my oral health. If you're interested in the highest quality in dental care and want to walk out of the office every time with a smile, call Dr. Ryan Ross today, 541-5800.
We're back with Living the Run.
Back on Living the Run. Paul Tarek still can't get over Tara's Muffins.
It was good. It was healthy and it was good.
I think we might lose Paul Tarek
breakfast.
to this. Next day. He may be running around, starting to do laps around this place. The energy's starting to pop out of this guy.
Yeah, it's no preservatives. That's why.
Hey, Paul, talk about a little bit. You and Tara were sitting here talking. Tara Kulikov from Pinnacle Training Systems and acupuncturist locally here. You guys were talking about hacks. What do you mean by a hack, Paul? Entering
first
an event?
off, I didn't say hack. I would have preferred to have just said, weekend warrior, jogger or something. But she calls them like she sees them, and she's the professional, so she can say that.
Sorry.
But no, she's right. I mean, there's people that for the examples I always use are the things we were talking about. People that they're inexperienced. They bite off more than they can chew.
Yes.
I'm gonna run a marathon, so I'm gonna enter, and my longest run is gonna be like a half mile leading up to the race, and I'm gonna show up talking the whole time, dressed up in my brand new Nike gear, and then I'm gonna bail out like 5 minutes in. Like people like that, people that change their whole mentality because somebody else is doing it, or I saw somebody do this, or so and so's doing this.
Tara, do you see that most in the cycling world? I swear it's the cycling world. I mean, because you got all that equipment, so people gotta look cool.
Triathlon is way worse than cycling any day, hands down.
You gotta look sweet out there, and so these people have all this stuff.
Sure.
Bill Greer said it, dude.
They can't ride a bike.
It's not how you do; it's how you look.
Oh my gosh!
And he thought he looked pretty good out there that day. That's what he said. He said,
Incredible stuff. Talk about how that leads into the perfect client for you guys at Pinnacle from a sense of training. So many people getting into this stuff, and oftentimes they get into it late, right? You don't get into triathlons as much when you're in junior high or high school, oftentimes not even in college. You don't start doing it until a little later. Talk about that experience factor and how you guys can bring a little bit to the table to help these people prevent injury, maybe a little bit, help them succeed, help them want to do it again. I mean, ultimately, that's what we want here. Living the Run, one of the things we're trying to get is people to get out there and do something, but continue to do it, want to keep liking doing it.
Yes, continue to do it and have a positive experience. That's our whole goal. Not to go there race day and have your brand new Nikes rub blisters on your toes, half mile in, or have your wetsuit that you never tried on not be able to zip up, or put shampoo in your goggles trying to defog them and get soap in your eyes. Those are just simple things. And then we go on to further things like not eating or drinking because you don't know what to do, and then you totally bonk and cause harmful things to happen to yourself, such as dehydration. There's been some serious stuff happening besides the things we're laughing about, like heart attacks, things like that. And you just want to be prepared as much as possible to have a good experience for yourself and for others.
Hey, let's think about your guys' website here a little bit. And I'm looking more on the Facebook here. I love this, too. Another fan of Living the Run, Kristen Horowitz, says hi to us all. She said, don't say hi to Paul,
hey,
but
Kristen.
she said,
we love you.
Shouts
out to All Out Events.
Hey, let's talk about that again. All Out Events is running
They're running the Morro Bay Triathlon, which is the day before the City to Sea. So I want to see somebody out there doing what I call the double header, where you go on Saturday and you do the Morro Bay Triathlon, turn around Sunday and do the half marathon at the City to Sea.
Paul, you're
going to do that.
Rex was just talking about wanting to do that. He said, I wish I had a weekend
there
of
you go.
mad, crazy workout.
There.
Well, Paul said that he tried to sign up for that, and they just didn't let him do that. They said that was just too deleterious to his health.
Absolutely
they were very
not.
worried.
You can do it.
They were worried about him.
It's an amateur-only event, and unfortunately, I've been paid to compete, so I can't enter some of these. I'd love to, but I can't. It's rules, Rex. If we're a society of rules and laws.
Yeah, that ASIC sponsorship. Isn't that thing gone?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. So what? Yeah, that's true. What you say is accurate. But, I had been paid at one point. It makes me, I don't want to sanction, I don't want to get another athlete sanctioned. Just for the love of the sport.
Hey, let me just get on. I want people to know that are listening how to get a hold of some of this information you guys have on Pinnacle Training Systems, just from the standpoint that you guys put up good stuff. Even some of these like recipes for muffins, things to eat, strategies for not only race day, but just everyday exercise, if you will. All they do is just type in Pinnacle Training Systems, San Luis Obispo, and up they go. They can friend you or like you, or how's it work?
Yes, you can get on Facebook if you are a Facebooker and look up Pinnacle Training Systems. We do have a branch in the Valley, and We have a branch out here in San Luis, so you might want to type in San Luis in specific, or get on our website, send me an email, and I'll add you to the list myself personally.
What's that, PinnacleTrainingSystems.com?
PinnacleTrainingSystems.com, yeah.
PinnacleTrainingSystems.com or on Facebook, and you can get a lot of this good information, like what you said about the athletes and the anti-foggers for the swim goggles. And where that comes in is we got a guest, sponsor of Living the Run, on the phone right now out of Las Vegas, but he runs his swim company here, Puma Aquatics. Judd Clark, how's it going in Vegas?
How you doing, Rex? Going great. Incredible clinic so far. Some great classes from some world-class coaches that we're learning from. So good experience.
Hey, here's the most important question, because we got Tara Kulikov in studio, trainer at Pinnacle Training Systems, an acupuncturist here locally. She's just talking about athletes that are asking about the anti-fogger for their swim goggles. They recommended putting baby shampoo into the lenses. Bueno or no bueno, Judd?
I've heard that same solution for that problem, but I've never tried it. You think, 3 kids of my own, I would probably have that experience to try it, but I think our kids just scuff up their goggles so quickly they don't even get a chance to wear them enough to get them fogged up. But it's worth a shot. It's definitely worth a shot.
Well, do you have to use the Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo? Because Tara's worried about the stinging of the eyes.
Because I've still seen my 2-year-old nephews get their eyes stung from baby shampoo.
That's interesting. I'll admit that I've used baby shampoo for my own hair, and it does sting. It's gotten in my eyes.
But your hair is soft and silky, though, so it's kind of like a good trade-off.
Yeah, it's a trade-off.
And it probably smells good, too, huh, Judd?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if I can answer any, defogging goggle questions, but I think, they have some good organic shampoo over there at New Frontiers that you might be able to try.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that some company at some point probably manufactured some anti-fog that I think, maybe there's a niche for it.
Yeah, there's got to be.
You can buy anti-fog specifically for your lenses, your swim lenses, yes.
Well, the cheapest thing to do is what they do for scuba diving as well, is you use your own saliva. That actually does work pretty well. But
I was going to say, don't you just spit in them?
Yeah, that's one thing that you can do.
So if you guys out there don't want to buy shampoo, bring them over here. Rex will spit in your glasses for you.
We'll see whose spit defogs the best. We can.
That's a good scientific experiment.
Yeah, it seems like something the government might want to pay for. Hey, coming in here to the fall, Puma Aquatics. What's Puma Aquatics got going for kids? The swim programs, obviously, everybody knows people are signed up in the summer and the spring when it's warm out. But what are we doing for kids, and how do we get them involved for the fall programs, Judd?
Yeah, well, September and October, they typically are our busiest months. And even after the Olympics, I think we're definitely seeing a big spike in people wanting to get in the pool. Our programs at all 3 of our sites, we offer novice through national level groups that the kids can be a part of, ranging from like 5 years old all the way up to, we've got a swimmer that's training for the Deaf Olympics. He's 31 years old. So pretty much any level, we've got a program for him.
Hey, good stuff. I know you're there, and Tara was talking about it earlier with their athletes, and one of the keys to any good program is that it allows people to have fun, which continues to get them, to stay with it. It's one thing I always loved about what you do, Judd. Talk about some of the stuff you're learning there that keeps things fun for people, keeps motivation going, so the kids don't burn out on this stuff, and that they enjoy it and they take it on to adulthood and then enter Pinnacle Training Systems, have Tara train them or the next thing, and they want to just keep going with the sport, with the fitness, and so on.
I think that's the ultimate goal, is you want to see these kids develop into lifelong fitness enthusiasts. And part of what our goal is we want to create that environment where the kids want to be there. They want to develop their own goals for themselves and have that success. And one of the best talks I went to today, it talked about character and integrity, and that character should come first in all sports. And that, in today's society, where you're looking at these athletes that it's kind of ego-centered, where it's all about me, where's the team in that? And this talk was great in how character prevails above all else. And that goes into, being a good example, good leader as a coach. And I thought this was an interesting point, that coaches are really defined as kind of like the last defense, meaning that you've got peers, you've got parents, aunts, uncles, you name it, and you've got coaches who spend a lot of time with these kids, especially as they get into those middle school and high school years where parents are sometimes worried about what their kids are up to. And so just teaching from a young age the importance of leadership and making good decisions. And, as a coach, here's my expectation for you. And this is something that they're only going to get better with as they get older, and it's going to be something that's going to be a life skill that can save their life, really, when you think about it, with all the different things that the kids are exposed to as they're getting older.
And I totally agree with you on the character in sports, and unfortunately, we don't see that in the professional arena a lot of times. Where, from your perspective, where does that go? Where do we kind of go off track, and what can people do to make sure they're? Because I know you see some 7-8-year-olds, and it is all about character and integrity and doing the right thing, and it's not a win at all cost mentality. They don't celebrate that, and they'll almost tell on each other for cheating. But where do they go off track, and what can you do to prevent that?
Yeah, I think we talked about that today, actually, and a big part of it can be, parents have all the right intentions, and, coaches have the right intentions, but sometimes it can be too much where it's, it can be a simple thing where a 6-year-old comes back from practice and the parents are asking, well, who did you beat in practice? Well, that shouldn't be the focus. That shouldn't be the question. It should be more like, what did you learn in practice today? What new skills did you come out with? Or, what fun game did you do on your backstroke drill? Versus always comparing your child to somebody else's, because a lot of times that just drives the kids away from sports.
Judd, I know you got to go here. I appreciate you coming on. It's an interesting thing that you talk about there. My son comes home now from soccer, and that is the first thing it seems like the emphasis is how many goals did you score in practice, not how many skills did you learn or what was the most fun task that you had. I appreciate very much that you throwing that in. The only thing I would say is there any way to make a backstroke fun? I mean, when you're swimming wall to wall, I guess it is nice to see those flags coming up overhead and you kind of know you're close to the wall there at the end. But how do you make that fun?
Oh, it's interesting. I guess when Michael Phelps was 6-7 years old, he had a lot of energy, so his parents wanted him to swim to get that energy out, and he didn't like getting his face wet. So he just swam backstrokes for an entire year. And, that's part of the process as far as, finding different things that keep you motivated in the pool. But, backstroke is one of those funny strokes where, you're off just a little bit and you're hitting the lane line or you're hitting the wall.
Getting water up your nose.
Yeah, even though your face is out of the water, you can get the water up the nose and things like that. But I think that the key is just, breaking it down and you could come on by, Rex. I could give you some drills, things like that, to make your backstroke more fun. I use hockey pucks, too. I use hockey pucks for some backstroke drills. There's a lot of fun things to do.
That sounds a bit dangerous. Judd Clark, Puma Aquatics, thanks for joining us. Enjoy your 7 o'clock conference. Keep learning stuff. Share with us again in a few weeks.
All right, thanks, Paul. Thanks, Rex. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and
thank you, Tanya.
Okay. Thanks, Judd. Hey, when we come back on Living the Run, I want to talk to you about what he mentioned. How do you get some of these individual sports, like running event, like a triathlon, like a cycling or something? How do you bring it into a team deal when you got everybody together and get those good character moments and get something bigger than just an individual time or just an individual placing? So more with Tara Kulikov, Pinnacle Training Systems, here on Living the Run.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Since 1929, Standard Process has been dedicated to providing the highest quality whole food supplements. Their philosophy is simple: to provide nutrients as they are found in nature. Today, scientists are finding more and more evidence demonstrating the benefits of whole food nutrients over high-dose synthetic vitamins. Standard Process's unique products are sold through healthcare professionals who are trained in using whole food nutrition as the first line of defense for the body. Visit www.standardprocess.com for more information or to find a Standard Process healthcare practitioner near you.
Hey guys, Paul Tarek from Living the Run here. As a former Olympian, there is only one place myself and fellow athletes go when it comes to chiropractic care on the Central Coast. With 4 chiropractors in the clinic, Slow Wellness Center is the largest, most comprehensive group of docs in San Luis Obispo County. I began seeing Dr. Rex Stevens back in 2005 for spinal adjustments to help maximize my performance, minimize my injury, and allow me to compete at my best. When the difference between a win and a loss can be just a fraction of an inch, perfect alignment in all joints is essential. One of the great things about the team at Slow Wellness is no matter where I had an issue, whether it was my spine, my foot, knee, wrist, or shoulder, they were always able to help. This team, made up of Dr. Rex and Molly Stevens, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Bandolo, is sure to help you reach your health and fitness goals too. If it's chiropractic care you need, go where I go, Slow Wellness Center. Check them out at slowwellness.com or call 543-8688.
My name is Chris Randolph, and as a local track and field Olympic hopeful, I've been seeing Brian Quigley at Slow Wellness Center to help me with injury recovery during my season. Brian has not only helped me with some very extensive injuries, but has also educated me on the specifics of how my body moves when I compete. His knowledge and touch has helped me achieve personal bests in my competition and has also helped me in injury prevention. Becoming a wellness patient of his has helped me stop my injuries before they start, making time spent recovering shorter, leaving more time spent training for my goals. From injury prevention to wellness, Brian understands the patient and holistically helps them achieve their personal health-related goals. So check out Brian Quigley at peakperformanceslo.com and find him on Facebook and comment a response to this ad and get a complimentary 60-minute massage.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
We're back with Living the Run.
Good stuff there from Judd Clark. Always love him. He's in Vegas now, learning a little bit about motivation and character. Let's bring that back. Tara Kulikov has been in studio with us. Talk about character building, some of this stuff, and team atmosphere of individual events like triathlons, running events, etc. How do you get the team atmosphere? How do you get some accountability? How do you get some of that stuff Paul was talking about to get people driven to see the bigger picture in this whole deal?
Well, it's huge. You know, with Pinnacle Training, we do one-on-one coaching, and we also have group coaching. So what I see in relation to that is that when people come out for the group programs, our training days, their performance is far superior than if they do it by themselves. And they report that back themselves. Hey, when I do that tempo run by myself, my pace is so much slower. I'm so much less motivated, so on and so forth. People get really amped to work as a big group.
Yeah.
When you go, especially running, distance running, one of the biggest detriments you can have is the fact that you have that amount of time to yourself just to think. And the whole time that you're running, you know, sometimes you're thinking, man, I'm sore and I'm really tired. Maybe I shouldn't be this tired. And you start having this mental war with yourself. When you get running with other people, at least for me, you know, you're watching the guy in front of you like, man, he doesn't look that bad. I shouldn't feel that bad. And it's a lot easier to fall in pace with him, kind of, you know, zone out, just get into a rhythm. And train with those people. You know, that was one of the biggest things that we ever told anybody. Said if you're ever going to start working out, either join a group, like start a circuit training group, do something with a group of people, or get a training partner, because you have to have somebody to answer to. You can't just be out there on your own just starting out.
Yeah, Ben, you know, we got to get people into pinnacletrainingsystems.com, because the reality is that people are out there trying to do this stuff on their own. They're often getting kind of bummed out because they're either getting hurt, they're not improving at the rate, or exactly what you just said, Paul, they're out there by themselves, and sometimes it's a nightmare to be out there by yourself. So again, pinnacletrainingsystems.com, and one of the great things I think these people need to get into the group phase, the accountability groups, to get out there with 4, 5, 10 other people to get this stuff going on. We need to encourage people to keep doing. We always encourage people to get something on a calendar, right, Paul? We say you got to have an event on the calendar because that holds you accountable. But you got to know people that are also
get to
doing
that
it.
event too. I mean, yeah,
you got to get to the event, and you got to have groups to train with.
All right, Tara. Let's say I'm just an average Joe. I'm sitting at home and I'm not super motivated.
Paul,
to get out on my own.
let's get right to it. You're not an average Joe. Everybody knows you're not
But
an
I
average Joe.
am sitting at home. I am sitting at home.
Call yourself the Adonis that you are. We're all well aware. So an Adonis athlete. All right, let's start again.
No. So I want to get involved in this training. Say, how would somebody go about getting involved in the group training? I mean, do they just show up and say, "Hey, I want to do this whole group thing. I'm going to tag along today," or how does it work?
Yeah, Cal Poly track tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a little bit more systematic for their own safety and well-being. So once again, they have to, look for a race that they want to race for. And then from there, they can be either set up with the group training program, like we're having one. We have one for the CDC. We'll have another one for the slow marathon, half marathon. And then they need to start at that designated time. So is it a 12-week program? Is it a 14? So right now we're in the middle of our ninth week of a 14-week program. So if Joe Schmo sitting on his couch shows up tomorrow, he might die of a heart attack because it's just way too intense.
So you're saying you make them have a goal and then you have a plan.
Yeah.
This is big stuff.
Is this what you guys do here?
This is like innovative stuff.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of people, like we talked about earlier. We talked about hacks
execution.
And people that come out and go, "I'm going to run this marathon. I've been training for 3.5 days. I'm super motivated. Let's do it."
Yeah, and you got to. I mean, I think Tara hit something really big earlier too. Is that they've got a plan for you, but then you guys are looking at nutrition too. So it's not just, hey, we're looking at a plan to get you in for a certain race or to get you to your 3-hour marathon or whatever it is. We're also going to get you there healthy and have you ready for the next one that you want to do after. And so much of that comes from the nutrition.
It's a lot harder to run a 5, 10K half marathon, 20, 30 pounds overweight, or to try to cover that 13 miles with no food or hydration. It's just not going to happen, people.
Let's just go back now. Central Coast, we got some events again. We got City to Sea you're training people for right now. We got Morro Bay Triathlon. What comes after that? Because you mentioned San Luis Obispo Marathon. We had that first one this last year, but that's not until that following spring. So what's in between there?
Training actually starts. So we start training athletes in January for the marathon. We like to have November and December. I mean, there's races every month, year round. But we like to have November, December to be some recovering, rebuilding weeks within Pinnacle Training System. So focusing more on core work, strength work, things like that during those couple months.
Yeah, some cross-training type stuff.
Yes.
Tell us what you were just talking about, some TRX training.
TRX. So TRX is a great suspension-based training system that we advocate and use quite a bit at Pinnacle Training Systems. It's using your own body with a suspension system at varying degrees, which it's a phenomenal workout. If you've never done it, you can get on to Google or to Facebook and check out TRX. And we do clinics and camps and one-on-ones with those as well.
Where are you guys doing them at? What's the location on that so people get a sense of where you guys
we'll go
are?
to somebody's local park and do it with them. We do it at our office. We'd like to go to other establishments. Like we're hopefully planning on doing something with the local climbing gym, Slow Op here. Getting a clinic over there. But once again, we have some one-on-one clients where we'll go to their home, they'll come to us.
For people that are into just trail running, swimming, nothing where it involves more than body weight. Have you guys seen a lot of good results with the TRX program?
Oh, phenomenal results. Phenomenal. And it's great because for endurance athletes where you don't want a lot of bulk, you're still getting really strong in a short amount of time.
Can you go through that myth? I hear that a lot. People say, I don't want a lot of bulk.
What do you mean?
It's just weight.
Well, no, what I'm saying is the reality is that these people get in, they start working out, they've worked out for like 4 weeks and they go, I just want to make sure I don't get too much bulk. Nobody puts on bulk in these short periods of time. I mean, lifting weights or doing this resistance training, it's not like it just happens overnight. You beef up 20 pounds and you put on all this muscle. It takes a long time to train for a lot of this stuff. And it seems like one of the biggest mistakes, and especially among women.
Oh, I know.
Women say this all the time.
I know.
Well, I just don't want to bulk. Who bulks?
Well, here's the thing, too. That
How
I think,
long you got to be training before you bulk?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, too, is you have to be doing at least some sort of resistance training. If you're just doing body weight, training, you're not really, it doesn't matter how many reps you do, you're really not going to bulk up. You're going to lean out. I mean, you're going to get some muscle you're going to get more muscle definition.
Exactly.
It may seem a little bulkier. Your jeans might fit a little tighter, but that's just because you have muscle building. It's not like you're going to bulk up and get huge.
Exactly. And no matter what, it's better to replace your body full of muscle than it is with fat.
Seems like a better idea, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Like, I don't really want to bulk up. Should have thought about that 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah, I kind of like that. You know, it's better to have a little more muscle than it is fat. It's kind of like it's good to have a plan and a goal before you start something.
Yeah,
we're learning a ton on this show today. Tips and takeaways is going to be great today, Paul. At the end of the show. Hey, let's take our final break. We're going to come back, find out what's on the horizon for Tara Kulikov. We still have not found that out yet. She says it's a bit of a secret, but I think we can lure something out of her. And we've got to get Paul on the calendar for a race here soon. Pinnacle Training Systems is the place for him. Back more on Living the Run.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
When I was your age and we went camping, Grandpa always told ghost stories.
Were they scary?
They sure were.
Ooh, tell me one.
Create memories that your son or daughter will never forget. Take them camping, hiking, or fishing. But before you go, get everything you need at Four Seasons Outfitters.
Okay, let's see if I can remember one. Oh yeah, a father and son were camping.
You mean like us?
Uh-huh. And not far from where they were was a spooky old shack.
Is that where the ghost is, Dad?
You'll find backpacks and tents, freshwater and deep-sea fishing equipment, campfire cooking supplies, guns and ammo, everything you need for your next adventure in the great outdoors.
Anyway, everything is quiet when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they hear a voice.
Hey, guys.
Ah!
What's wrong? I was just bringing marshmallows from the kitchen.
Even if the adventure is in your own backyard. Four Seasons Outfitters, your outdoor adventure headquarters for more than 25 years. 432 High Cara, San Luis Obispo.
Hey, honey, can you leave the back porch light on?
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
The ultimate choice for sports massage in SLO County? Peak Performance. Conveniently located at SLO Wellness Center just blocks from Cal Poly is ready to assist you to reach your personal best. Calling all athletes and fitness enthusiasts. If you're ready to start alleviating symptoms by addressing the true problems, if you are seeking efficient and effective body work, then you can count on Peak Performance. Nagging injury, losing the bounce in your step, pain or tightness keeping you from training hard and reaching your goals? Raise your standards, raise your expectations. Call Peak Performance 543-8688.
Folks, when it comes to the health of my teeth, I will not compromise, and neither should you. It's time you go where my wife and I go. Go see Dr. Ryan Ross. I get it. Not everyone loves a dentist, and heck, even a few of you out there are scared to death of these offices. Bad past experiences? Well, you ever had a bad haircut? How about a bad meal somewhere? You didn't stop getting your haircut, and you certainly didn't stop eating, so stop ignoring your teeth. Dr. Ross's gentle approach, calming demeanor, and office full of upbeat staff put your dental fears to rest. Conveniently located in a great little house on Marsh Street downtown, Dr. Ross's office exudes the highest level of professionalism, mixed with an atmosphere much like your own home. Look, nobody's in a rush here. It's not a get 'em in, get 'em out atmosphere. Every time I'm in Dr. Ross's office, it's like I'm the only guy that matters. No distractions, just full focus on my oral health. If you're interested in the highest quality in dental care and want to walk out of the office every time with a smile, call Dr. Ryan Ross today, 541-5800.
We're back with Living the Run.
Another good show, Paul Tarek.
I will jog a 5K just to get.
muffins.
We'll run for muffin.
Hey, we'll run for muffin. That's the new slogan of Living the Run. Take it how you want. Tara Kulikov, it's been a great show. Thanks for coming in. It's nice to have more time with you. Again, Tara Kulikov, Pinnacle Training Systems. PinnacleTrainingsystems.com is where you find these guys. I'm telling you, they'll put the plan together for you. They'll hold you accountable, look at all aspects, get you healthy through, and have you have a great performance that all you want to do is do the next one.
You just got to show up. That's all you got to do.
You just...
Show up, we take care of the rest.
You just got to show up, take care of the rest. So does this fit into your repertoire? We're sponsored here on Living the Run by Jaffa Cafe, our favorite Greek restaurant in town. Good stuff there. This is for you from Jaffa Cafe. Hook it up. This is
sounds wonderful.
Some darn good food. I had the pesto burrito today.
You're gonna tell her all about food. And you're not gonna pry the information out of her as to what's on the calendar.
Tremendous stuff. No, I'm.
Oh,
Paul,
you're leading up to it.
I'm leading up. First,
oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I just got that right there.
I had to give the first gift before I give a second gift. Tara, what's on the schedule for you? Because you stay fit as a button. I know it makes obviously health is a very important thing to you, and sometimes you have goals. Sometimes you're just training to stay healthy. What's going on with you? Do we have anything to look forward to on Living the Run?
I'm trying to get fat and lazy and retire like Paul here, but
I have a plan for that.
I keep getting suckered into things.
I have a plan for that, so if you do want, let me know. I'll set it up for you.
By the way, he's not fat and lazy.
Lazy, maybe.
Well, I know your husband's competing too. He's got events that he does.
Yeah.
You guys.
So I'm heading off in 2 weeks to go. I was supposed to just watch an athlete at the World Xterra Championships in Utah.
But you're going to compete.
So, yes, partially. I'm going to do probably just the sprint race there. So Xterra is an off-road triathlon, for those of you who don't know.
Sounds like a ton of fun. The Xterra in Utah.
Yeah, Xterra World Championship.
The Xterra Forterra.
Utah. There we go.
There's Xterra.
Named after you.
Exactly.
Hey, we wanted to also talk about one of our sponsors, Left Coast T-shirts. They made us these great tank tops for you. I might have to change the size on it, but at least I'll get you that one. David Whitaker at Left Coast T-shirts. Great
We've
stuff.
Had T-shirts made. They are great.
Of course. They're the greatest over there. So we got to use those guys. We always finish the show with something soft stuff, huh? Yes. Good stuff. Racerback. Everybody's looking good in it. Paul was sporting it last week. The muscles were ripped. Things look good. Yeah, we got something we do called tips and takeaways. What's the last thing we might say? Something for the listeners to take home tomorrow that they might be able to start, add to their health and fitness, and something in their goals.
Make a plan.
Make a plan. Simple, Paul. What do you got?
I'm gonna go back character. It's sports and athletics. It's about character building. It's not about anything else.
It is, absolutely. And I'm going to say, if you make a plan, stay accountable to it, stick to it, and get a group to do it with you. I think that the most important way to do that is get professionals like yourself, Tara, to help them out, but then be around other people with similar goals, people that you can call, email, text, to get you out on those days that are tough to get out there and hold you accountable. So good stuff. This show, is always, Paul Tarek, is full of good stuff. We got races coming up. Again, Morro Bay Triathlon beginning October, City to the Sea. Again, it's not too early to sign up for slow marathon and half marathon next year. Registration is open. It's good stuff next spring. Again, thanks to all our sponsors. Thanks to producer Max Woodcock, as always, coming up with, Max is always pulling it together for us, and the show keeps getting better with less hitches. Paul Tarek.
Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Mongo Saloon, Grover Beach, 5 City Roller Derby. Support your local Derby girls.
5 City Roller Derby. Paul's wife will be out there. She'll have her ankle brace on for that newly sprained ankle, but she's tough. She'll be ready. Thanks to Judd Clark, Puma Aquatics, for joining us out of Las Vegas. And as we say always here on Living the Run, live healthy, live bold, come live the run.